Yo, what up, though, gang? This your boy Prince Rob back again with another reaction, man. You feel me? Man, listen, I've been gaming a lot. I got a lot of gaming footage that I gotta upload or whatever, and I gotta bust everything down. I just been trying to figure things out in my life, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna spend the weekend just uploading everything, busting everything down, and seeing if we could turn up a little bit, because we had 31 subscribers, but I think we can get to 100 by Monday. You feel me? I think we get to 100 by Monday, gang. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Listen, today we reacting to my dogs, Abba and Preach, man. You're YouTube motherfucking legends. You know what I mean? One of the best duos on YouTube, gang. I've been the follower and subscriber for years, bro. Like I can literally just binge watch all their content all day and just sit there and laugh. You know what I'm saying? I saw that they moved out of, Abba's spot, man. Shout out to them. They're moving on up, doing big things. I see you, man. You feel me? Y'all getting money now, huh? You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. You know what I mean? I'm proud of them boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so we reacting to that boy Stevie Knight. Boy, listen, Stevie Knight, come to the front of the congregation, brother. Come to the front of the congregation, man. This man, when I saw his debate between Abba and Preach about Charlie Kirk, I had to go unsubscribe from dude. You hear me? I had to go unsubscribe from him, bro. Not because I'm so opposed against him being conservative, right? I'm gonna do a better job to articulate myself than he did. It's not because I oppose conservative views. It's just dude wasn't able to articulate his own views, right? So one of the main points Abba was speaking on was like, hey, bro, how do you feel about kids, you know what I mean, like starving or being malnutrition? Like there's 14 million, 13 million kids in America who live in a household where they don't receive proper nutrition. This man said, nah, bro, you need to, the family need to take care of that. The family need to take care of that. It's like, brother, you do know that every child or every person how can I say this? Every person does not have the life you have. Everybody's not well off. Most Americans are struggling. They say the average income in America is 60,000, but I think that's because, I don't think it's 60,000, bro. I think that'd be closer to like 30, 40,000, bro. You feel me? Like the average American is a $300, $400 emergency away from going broke or going homeless. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, above that, brother, I don't even know. I should cut on the light for this one, gang, but man, I'm gonna keep it off. Brother, I had free lunch in school, man. You hear me? I was one of them kids, bro. The government fed me, gang. My people wasn't making, you feel me? They was making just enough to, you know what I'm saying, to keep the lights on, to keep the rent paid. That's it. You know what I'm saying? What little food would eat together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Niggas grew up off of cup noodles, man. You know what I mean? The only time during school, but I would know one thing, man, when it's time for school, man, I get that free lunch. I get that 25-cent lunch. I still remember my lunch number, 158407. Years later, I still remember my lunch school number, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very disingenuous for you to say something like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially kids, bro. You know what I mean? Especially kids. I get whatever. Adults, hey, figure it out on your own. But a child don't know no better. You feel me? Second thing I had a problem with, man, when that man asked him, hey, Charlie Kirk is okay with a 7-year-old having the child of her rapist. You agreed with that. I just wanted to know how you would defend a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know how to defend one. So teach us how to defend one, gang. You know what I mean? Like, brother, you tripping, bro. I think we can all. I'm conservative to a certain extent. I get the abortion debate. You know what I mean? Like, I completely understand why you could be like, hey, man, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm whatever, Hindu, I'm whatever. My faith does not want me to harm little children. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way you're telling me that a child who's 7 years old, who's been violated, has to carry the child of this evil man. Not only that, you're bringing this child into the world where he's not going to be loved. He or she's not going to be loved. That child is not going to be loved by anybody. You know what I'm saying? So now you're bringing forth a broken human being into the world. You know what I'm saying? That was just my problem with dude. And when I heard those things about him, I had to unsubscribe, bro. To me personally, I'm like, bro, I can't, you know what I mean? I don't even want to hear the, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't articulate yourself to where it makes sense, bro, where your views make sense, especially on a subject matter that disgusting. You feel me? I'm cool on, brother. I'm cool on. But yeah, he had another, I'm gonna make this intro long than a big game, but it is what it is. You feel me? But he had another, his views on the movie Sinners. I'm be very honest with you. I haven't seen the movie. You feel me? I haven't seen the movie, bro. You feel me? I heard it's a great movie. I heard great reviews about it. When I get to it, I'm gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I've watched like the reviews of it. You know what I'm saying? I've watched the reviews. I've watched the synopsis of it. So I think I get the basic of what the movie is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm reacting to today. Let's see what my dog abaandpreach got to say. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there. And you know,
Sinners. When Sinners came out, it was a movie by Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Set in 1930s America in the South. And Stevie had a review, and so I was curious because a lot of people had a negative impression of him. And it kind of plays into the image I have of Stevie.
I didn't know how woke the shit was until after I read about all the double meanings and shit, dog. But once I realized what the fuck the movie was about, it's just like a woke propaganda piece. Because it's
what was woke about it?
Because the meaning behind the movie is.
Hey, yo, hold on. I gotta move myself again because I'm at the corner of the screen. And you can't see my dogs if I'm at the corner of the screen. Hold on, how we do this? Gang, don't judge me. We do this shit raw. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do it on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Hey, in the middle of video, we go stop it and fix shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Back to the regular schedule program.
The vampires are irrelevant. The vampire is a metaphor for white people appropriating black culture. Like the black people are in the juke joint having a black time. It's black owned. We having a good time. This is our shit. And then they playing the music, which attracts the vampires, which is also the white people. And they want to get in and get down with the black folks, but the black folks don't let them. So then the vampire.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I never watched the movie until I saw this review, and then I played the first 2 minutes, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna watch the movie so I know what's this about. I watched it and I was super confused by this review by Stevie. To categorize this movie as woke, as like white people trying to appropriate black spaces, it was so fucking stupid because it has nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
They made the vampire who's the antagonist Irish, and I think that flew over a lot of people's head because maybe some people don't know Irish history, but it's actually kind of telling because even in the U.S., Irish people were very heavily discriminated against.
Exactly.
Back in Europe, they were the proverbial punching bag for the royalty.
Facts.
They got fucked over throughout history.
Facts.
That's just a reality. And if you pay attention, at one point they start doing Irish music. They start
kind of like the Scottish. Go watch Braveheart. That's a great movie.
Are doing Irish dances because that was the kind of stuff that helped them get through tough times. And it's a parallel between the black music and how even in the beginning of the movie, if you paid attention to the plot, in the first 30 minutes, they're explaining what blues comes from. That's why when they talk about those very difficult stories from that slavery era, blues is what came from that and that pain. But all Stevie does is see race, and he didn't even see it during the movie. This is how a fucking dummy he is. He saw someone else post something on Twitter.
Hey, you know what the sad part is, bro? I don't mean to cut bro off. Man, some of the greatest music come from pain. You feel me? We'll give you an example. There's like this, there's this, like y'all know I'm African, gang, you know what I'm saying? But there's this popular African song called like Premium Gaul, right? And we heard it like growing up, we'd hear our parents would play it. Our families would play it or whatever. We'd hear it at parties and we never knew what it was. We just danced to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a catchy song, but whenever you actually go listen to the lyrics is about a guy whose girl dumped him. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally the whole song is about the guy's love life and how it's sad and she left him and then he finally blew up later on in life. And I don't know, that was just a tangent, but I think that's funny.
You know, like, that's what it is. After the movie, which is very, very weird way to retroactively understand.
Hey, I'm dropping bars on these bit. Nah, gang, listen, this is not it. Maybe the next one I'm gonna drop some bars for y'all.
in the film. I watched the film, and if it was woke, I'm telling you right now, I would have fucking hated it. The movie wasn't hyper focused, even though it's not area about race. It was more so about how music helps us overcome difficult things. And the vampire wanted the musician because he wanted to be able to create a utopia where everyone would have good music to ease the suffering that they had when they were living. That's what the plot was about. But there's a couple other themes, but that's the focus. So him calling it a woke movie is like,
And also, I'm gonna cut off bro again. It's also about how music is linked to just, I mean, I'm sure all y'all know about this, like vibration, vibes, you know what I mean? That's a new word everybody uses. It's the vibe, it's the vibrations, right? So like sound has a frequency, right? I don't know, I want to say it right. Like sound has a frequency, right? And music can affect just more than anything. Like there's an experiment where they put sound to water and you can see how it resonates throughout the water, right? And our bodies are like, what, 60% water, 50% water or something, depending on how you consume water, right? So music has a great influence on just not only your physical body, but your spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like when you listening to music, bro, depending on what you listen to, it can literally change your mood, you know what I mean? You could be having the worst day ever, you hear your favorite song and your whole mood change, you know what I mean? You brighten up a little bit, you feel me? So that was part of the movie, was them explaining to dude the power of music and how it attracts spirits. You know what I'm saying?
sometimes people have political brain and they go into a piece of entertainment and they just start putting their fucking political bullshit on everything. That doesn't say that there aren't movies with propaganda pieces in it, but this movie wasn't it. It's not even his own thoughts. He read someone else's thoughts and then put that shit on the film.
There's a lot of movies that have, like, you could say liberal agendas, propaganda, and a storyline. The message is not propaganda. Propaganda is being very deceptive. You're not telling the truth. You're trying to say a message without telling the truth. Get Out is one of them that has a that had a message in it. District 9 had another message that you could qualify as woke, where it's a bunch of different classes it was trying to mimic what happens with apartheid.
South Africa
with robots.
Yes, sir.
Right? E.T. The movie E.T. was about being an alien and missing home, being an immigrant and missing home. E.T. phone home.
I'm gonna correct my dog. Shout out my dog Preach. He's thinking of Chappie. Chappie is also in South Africa with the robot he was like a police robot that malfunctioned, and then these guys were like, they rob people, so they kept the robot, and then in the process of that, like, the robot finds itself. District 9 is with the aliens, where the guy there, everybody's like in the bottom, you know what I mean? There's like that alien colony that's stuck on planet Earth. And bro, I'm a big movie buff. I love movies. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I heard dude describe Sinners, I was like, bro, it's just a movie, bro. You know what I mean? I get you seeing the message in it, but sometimes movies are just movies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, District 9 is the one with the aliens, where the guy gets the alien juice in him, and then he slowly turns into the aliens. But come on, big dog, let's continue.
There is a message like that. That's like most movies you watch. There's a message. The X-Men was off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
I mean,
so like,
even when you take it at its face value, it's a lot about discrimination, about the fact that the mutants are discriminated for their abilities and the fear that they have because they're different.
They eventually get in and they take over. So it's like the white people taking over black spaces, right? That's why they try to emphasize how important music is, specifically to black people.
Did you like that scene, at least how they meshed all the musics together and stuff?
No, because I was already off. I was already off at that point, bro. I was already pissed at that point.
I just want to say, just for a quick second, the cinematography in the film was mid, but that scene was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Which one?
The scene where they're doing the music in the juke joint and it's a one shot and it's moving, and you're seeing what music and dance was like before 1934. They went back to Africa with the African traditional dances. They went to the future. It was a really beautifully shot scene, objectively. Like, that was just one of the best pieces of cinematography. And him just being like, the shit's just woke. I hated it. It's like,
but
really
like,
nice one shot.
It's a black movie, and then they put some Asian people in it. It's like too much people together and having fun, and that's just too woke.
But even the Asian people, the reason why there was Chinese people in the film was even back in 1930s and the early 1900s, there were Chinese people that lived in the South and ran a lot of the markets. Like, Ryan Coogler, I think almost a little bit too much, made a really
I just saw, I'm glad, I don't mean to cut off bro again, man, but I just saw a dope documentary where it explained why the Asian community and the Black community are so intertwined even nowadays is because during those times when Black people were not allowed to go into whatever a white establishment, Asian people didn't care. You feel me? You could go into the Asian store. So the Asian people opened up stores in predominantly Black neighborhoods, and they, you know what I'm saying? They didn't mind having us come through, you know what I'm saying? And I love my, you know what I'm saying? I love my Asian people, gang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, man.
Effort to try to replicate the era as best as possible and the realities of it. So it wasn't like, oh, I want to do diversity for that. No. Back then, there were Chinese people who ran a lot of the supermarkets, and it's okay to highlight the history of different people.
Purporting this message behind it, bro. It's like about culture vulture, white appropriation. And
another thing, bro, I'm gonna pause this a lot. It's gonna be a long rant, bro. I just saw there was a debate on Black Twitter or Black X about a new series called Country Fried Rice or Southern Fried Rice, something like that. It's pretty much a series about a Asian girl, right, who was adopted by a Black family, and she's going to a HBCU, so a historically Black college or university, right? And there was a lot of backlash, right? So a lot of backlash, like, man, why do we allow people into our spaces? Why do we let them take over this, and that, bro? I had just one problem with that, gang. You hear me? Like, bro, the history of Black people isn't just Black people, if that makes sense, right? So, like, for instance, bro, like, listen, I ain't gonna say I'm woke, bro, but I'm all for the cause. You feel me? I ride with my people, gang. Right or wrong. Sometimes even when they wrong, I call them out for it. You feel? But I'm a ride with mine, gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100. I ain't gonna sit there and bullshit you. But one thing I dislike, right, as a people that we do, right, is we ignore all the white people that did right by us, right? I get it, bro. Yeah, man. Make America great. White people want us to go back to slavery. Cool, bro. But if you go back and do your research, right? So the Underground Railroad wasn't an underground railroad. The Underground Railroad was actually houses in the South that white people owned that would help and house Black people so they can get out and go to freedom, get out of slavery. You feel me? Like, I forgot what movie it was, bro. It has Matthew McConaughey. It's pretty much a State of Jones. That is an actual historic like thing. Like, there was an actual preacher that was white preaching during slavery and looked up and was like, bro, I'm preaching this message about God loves us, be good, Jesus this, Jesus that, but we're enslaving other human beings. And he felt some type of way, and he literally stood with the slaves at the time and literally got killed for that. So I'm not saying every white person is good, but I'm not saying every white person is bad. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with Asian people. I ain't saying all Asian people are good, but all Asian people ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just people, bro. And in our story, the Black struggle, we have people from other cultures who came in and helped us. Just like we have people from our cultures who came in and hurt us. The Uncle Toms, the raccoons, you know what I'm saying? Case in point, dude in the SK hat, you know what I'm saying?
And how white people are just, vampires sucking Black energy.
I watched a movie and I didn't once come out of there and be like, yeah, white people, they be like, I was just like, all right, that was a movie.
The movie.
That's cool. He did his thing.
Black folks is just like, they're obsessed about race, but like, that's all you saw when you've watched the film, not realizing there are historical realities of Irish, English, and Black folks that are quite different. So it's essentially the lack of nuance. We're not a monolith, but you went to the most brain dead, anti-woke rhetoric right away.
But this dude is a stick.
Yeah.
He's one dimensional. There's no depth in it. He had to put the tension that there is.
Yeah.
You can't be talking with white people like, hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm good. Yourself? All right, Mr. Jones. That was not the reality of those times.
At all.
The pretty white girl involved with Michael B. Jordan be the lead cause of everything happening, right? It's because of her that the vampires got in the motherfucking the crib. The point of the movie is to demonize white people, right? So the white people coming in to take over. But bro, why would you have this big Black fat girl be the representation of the Black savior woman? She was the one that knew the shit. She knew how to kill the vampires. She was the one to put everybody on game.
What's the problem with that?
Bruh.
So there was not bigger black people. I feel like from what I know, from Yoruba, from Doble, from Voodoo, that lady that played that role,
she look exactly,
If you don't understand the rules of power, you will certainly lose to someone who does.
Nigga, shut the fuck up. You don't know the rules of power. You on YouTube trying to explain rules of power to niggas. The niggas who rule this world ain't on YouTube telling you how to rule this world, gang. Go talk to. Nah, man, I ain't gonna say that over this internet, so these people cancel me.
The role.
First off, she wasn't fat. She's thick. That's it.
Man, hey, that's a fine woman.
She wasn't.
Yeah, no, gang, you tripping, gang. That she fat to you?
Fat.
Yeah, bro, man, that's a fat woman to you, bro. Listen, man. If so, I forgot what movie it was, bro. You feel me? But if you don't have, in order to climb a big mountain, right? So I know she got ass, right? So I don't want to be too provocative, but in order to climb a big mountain, you got to have a big stick. You know what I'm saying? If you got a little tiny stick, then you scared to go up the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, my little stick might break. You know what I'm saying? Shit, my little stick might fall off to the, you know what I mean? You need a big, strong stick to go up a big mountain, gang. So if she, you know what I mean? If she's a little bit too much for you to handle, it's cool, big bro. Cause me personally, I love them all. You know what I'm saying? All shapes, sizes, colors. I love them all, gang. What that nigga say? From short to classy, the freaks, the nasty. You feel me? I love them all, and I love them all.
Morbidly one too. Like,
cause I'm a dog.
You're a sellout. It's like, do you not open up your history books? The kinds of people who survived through slavery were people who were very capable of doing manual labor. A lot of these women, if you go look at old pictures, you'll see a lot of them. They were on the thicker side. They were on the bigger side. They had to because if you pick cotton on day or you're doing all these other kinds of things, you have to be sturdy.
And also,
and not only that, let's go into the realities and facts, right? So during slavery, like slave owners looked at their, you know what I mean, their slaves as property. Right? And pretty much the same way you would look at a dog or a horse or a cow, they would breed us. You know what I'm saying? Like they would go, hey, you and you have to have a child together. So literally, like so many women were raped, you feel me, to have the big, strong dude that can work the field or have the big, strong woman that can, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a reality of it, brother. You know what I mean? That shit was, I know a lot of people like to downplay it, but there was a science to what them people did, bro. You feel me? That's why even now when these debates of why are the black community so fucked up? Why is the black community like this, like that? The first thing I ask people, right? Okay, first the per capita argument. To me, the per capita argument is a disingenuous argument, right? Because you're not taking into account in statistics, what do you call it? Sample size, right? Sample size matters. So if you're going to do a experiment, right? The scientific method, if we're going to say, hey, we're going to prove this scientific thing, right? So we're going to do an experiment. We're going to make sure all factors remain the same, except the control, which is the thing that we want to see whether or not it's right or wrong, right? And then we do the experiment. We don't just do it once and go, okay, it's a fact. We do it multiple times until we get the same result, right? Then after that, that's not just the end of it. It's not you just did the experiment multiple times and now it's a fact. No. Now you have to be peer reviewed by others. So that means the sample size is greater to prove, to limit the margin of error, right? That's the first thing. That's the per capita argument. And we'll come back to that later on, brother. You feel me? Second argument, bro. If you look back towards, if you know anything about psychology, right? I ain't the smartest dude in the world, bro. You feel me? But when I was in high school, I took a couple advanced psychology classes, you know what I'm saying? Back when I was smart. You learn about epigenetics, right? Epigenetics is the study of how trauma is passed down from generation to generation, right? So the fears that you have, the things that you could say you fall weak to, will be passed down to your children, right? Epigenetics. This is a scientific thing. You can look it up. I'm not that smart. Ask ChatGPT. You feel me? So we understand epigenetics is real, right? That trauma can be passed down. Like if this child grew up in a traumatic house, when he grows up and has a child, that trauma would literally be passed down through your DNA, right? You know how some people say, man, hey man, all my family's alcoholics. Oh yeah, we alcoholics in my family. You feel me? Like they're saying it, but they don't understand what they're saying. Like that's in your DNA. That is I don't want to say weakness, but you know what I mean? Like a trait that you have in your DNA. You know what I mean? Because DNA is not just static. It's ever changing. You know what I'm saying? Through your life, through your child's life, through, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is if we go back and research it, there's a such thing called the Willie Lynch letters. If you know anything about what the Willie Lynch letters are, there are letters which this guy who was, I guess at the time, he was the slave whisperer, right? So he would go from plantation to plantation teaching the slave owners how to break down his slaves, how to make sure they never run away, how to make sure they always obey, because you got to think about it, right? You living in this huge house with 5, 6, 7 people that you beat on and you subjugate every night. You're not sleeping well. You thinking, man, any day these people could kick in this door and harm me. You know what I'm saying? So he wrote a letter called How to Make a Slave, right? If I'm not mistaken. And pretty much it's how you break down a human being from generation to generation, right? Remember the epigenetics thing we just talked about? The scientific thing? Right. So he applied that to human beings. He literally said, hey, that's where buck breaking comes in, where you humiliate the black man. You grape them, you know what I mean? You violate them, you assault them in front of their wife or their woman and their children. That way the mother or the woman understands, hey, I don't want my son to grow up. Don't look at master in his eyes. Hey, keep your voice down when you're talking to them, because I don't want that to happen, what happened to your father, to happen to you. And then in turn, she teaches her girls, hey, you have to be strong and independent, because any day they could take away the man. Any day they could take me away. You have to stand on your own. You know what I'm saying? Epigenetics. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you ask what's wrong with the black community, why it seems like, you know what I mean, a lot of our brothers and sisters are crazy, I'm not justifying the craziness. I'm just trying to explain it. You know what I'm saying? In a scientific term, not just shit I pull out my ass. You know what I mean?
At that, and the casting is very intentional, and shitting on it as if it's wrong or it's bad is crazy. What's more, the point of the movie isn't even that white people are evil, but you keep saying that and then judging the movie, which makes you fucking stupid. I just, there's so many layers of it, but just listen to his language and like how dehumanizing it is when he refers to the black woman. Her acting performance was phenomenal. Pristine. I'm gonna defend the white girl, as you put her, the pretty white girl. You love to refer to her as that.
But that's not even.
And she's not even white. That's the crazy part. She's like white. She's like 3 different ethnicities, not race, because there's only one race, the human race. There's not multiple races. Race that's the dumbest thing in the world. There's no such thing as race. There's only one race, and that is the human race. There's different ethnicities, different cultures within the human race, but there's only one race, brother. You know what I'm saying? Not 2, not 3, not 4, one race, the human race. Are you a human being? I bet you're part of the human race. Doesn't matter what color you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, a bear is a bear. It doesn't fucking matter if it's a polar bear, it's a black bear, or a brown bear. It's a fucking bear. You know what I'm saying? It's still gonna eat you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That in the movie.
It's not that she was culturally down or that she's the reason the vampires got in. She was there because it shows that before 1967, when black people or interracial marriage was legalized, a lot of these communities had interactions with each other. If you listen closely to the movie, her mother raised the 2 main characters. So they had very close proximity. It was very common for white children to have like a nanny who was a black woman, and those kids would interact with each other. So there's a lot of intersection between these people. She had to give up her love interest for the main character to be with a white husband because interracial marriage was not allowed, but she still loved all people. That's why when she walked through the juke joint, she was welcomed. Even though she was not black, as you say, nobody had an issue with her. Even the fact that she was wearing silk, these are all intentions. But him just reducing it to like, white people are bad, black people are good, that's what the movie's about. It's like, he doesn't get it.
At all.
What would you have preferred? A white savior?
Man.
Yeah. There was also a thinner black woman who was a performer, and she was getting with the lead singer.
Yeah.
She was one of the characters. Very thin. He doesn't mention her existence at all.
My question is, so would he have rather the roles would be reversed? Like, so the quote unquote pretty white girl, he wanted her to be black. And I'm not even gonna say that weird shit, but old girl that was the thicker black woman, right? Because I'm not about to disrespect her. You feel me? The thicker black, beautiful black woman. Would he rather her be a thick white woman that does voodoo? I'm confused, brother. Like I said, that man to me, I think he's looking too far into it, bro. It's just a movie. It has a message, yes, but I don't think it's that serious, brother.
Right, because she was married to someone who was well off. That's why she was on the thinner side. I'm going to give you guys my own synopsis of the movie, but you got to listen to how he gives a summary of it, because it's very telling.
I went to go see The Sinners last night. Trash. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's one of the main characters, but he plays himself twice because he plays a twin of himself, so it's two of him. And they like some prohibition gangsters back then. And they hit a lick in Chicago, come back, but back to their hometown or whatnot, buy a barn, and they turn the barn into a juke joint. And then like the first...
Right now, your support brings help to those in need and shares Israel's true story with...
Brother, no comment, because I ain't trying to get canceled.
First 30 minutes is just developing this plot where they going around recruiting who they need to run the juke joint for the grand opening that night, right? So they pick up a musician, they pick up a cook, they pick up a security guard, you know what I'm saying, highlight their little stories or whatnot. You see the main love interest, pretty white girl, and she's involved with one of the twins. And then, juke joints popping, right? And then vampires randomly pull up. They just randomly pull up. And really, that's pretty much it.
They don't randomly pull up, bro. Like I said, I've watched reviews of people who went and watched the movie. I haven't watched the movie, but I watched reviews of the movie. The basis, the point of the story is, or how the vampire pulled up is, he attacks one of the owners of the juke joint or whatever, right? And in the process of attacking them, as a vampire, he has the power to learn like whatever your memories are. So when attacking that person or the couple, he gains the memory of, oh, okay, this is the juke joint next door. They're about to throw a party here, tonight. There's going to be people here. Well, he's a vampire, gang. There's going to be a whole bunch of people in the same spot in the dark. I'm sure he was like buffet, you know what I'm saying?
The story is, there's not much there at all. And there's so many gaping holes throughout just the literal script. And it took entirely too long for the motherfucker to develop for a horror story.
Synopsis is very wrong, and him saying there's no plot. I personally think the movie is about a 6 out of 10. I'm a pretty harsh movie critic. I liked that Ryan Coogler, in my opinion, improved a lot as a director, because when you watch that movie, it's substantially better than his previous work. And he took some liberties and some chances here, and there's some good ones. But him saying there's no plot is crazy. Him even describing the first 30 minutes as if it's just like getting people and that's it. Like, he missed everything that happened in the first 30 minutes and how it's incredibly important for the entire setup of the movie in terms of thematics and themes. So, dude doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about from off the top. And a good example of this is, you have the scenes in the beginning with the church and the musician, who's probably one of the most important pieces of the story. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing the conflict between his wanting to engage in music and his dad, who's a pastor, wanting him to come back to church and stay away from the devil's work, which is music. Then you also have the themes about African spiritualism, when you have the love interest, who she starts talking about charms, and it's very lightly touched on. They don't do it very directly, but they're clearly hinting towards black folks' history back in Africa and how they kept some of those traditions. Even today, if you go to the south of the USA, you'll find some places where elements of voodoo and some of that spiritualism still exists.
Yeah.
So all these themes are incredibly important because they keep playing throughout the movie, but he just kind of just jumps right past it as if it's unimportant. And he's like, I want to see dope shit. I want to see vampires.
And you got to understand my perspective. I'm coming in this motherfucker looking for horror, looking for vampire, looking for dope shit.
And I think even him saying it's not like a horror, like when a movie's categorized, it's not always perfectly fitting in that. Sometimes there's a lot of comedic elements. A lot of movies are hybrids. So even going in with the expectation that it's going to be a clear-cut horror, like not every horror movie is it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the clown, like a lot of them are thrillers, they're dramas. There's a lot more involved. So
I can understand that that movie was not the most hardcore horror movie that you can see out there. Mm-hmm. But because of the elements that's in there, unfortunately, it fits into horror.
Yeah.
You can't fit it into a thriller. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can't fit it into an action movie because there are elements of horror. You're going to have to put it in horror. Yeah. And because some people really don't want to see that gory stuff, so you have to put it in there, unfortunately. So even sometimes when you pitch ideas, and it's not you that decides where that movie's going to fall into. So
and they have to do that because
they have to
put it in a category.
They have to do it. They have to put it in a category for awards, or even just when they're going to play it, who they're going to play it to.
Yeah.
You're just here and writing your stuff, and you're not even thinking it's a PG-13 movies, but the people that you're going to project the film to, you're going to see like, oh yeah, we have to pitch the movie so that they're able to play it. They're looking at the movie, they're looking at the script, and because of certain elements that check the boxes, that's going to be PG-13 movie. You were not thinking about that. You were thinking about making a movie. You're not thinking about making a horror movie, but because of certain elements that are checked in, it falls into a horror movie that's pretty soft.
But that's why I think he often thinks in boxes. That's why he's like, I didn't say liar or manipulator.
Yes.
Right, like it's a horror movie. Like Stevie's, what he does is when he has a box, he puts something in that box and nothing else can go into it. Everything has its box. I don't mind that Stevie doesn't like the movie, but saying there's no plot is very stupid and just factually untrue. That's the issue. It's not as subjective.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now,
hey, Ryan.
I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15.
Nah, I haven't heard, but that don't sound too bad, gang. What about? My only question is, how much data do they give you? Because that's the finesse right there. Y'all ain't gonna talk about that. That's the finesse. It could be $15 a month, but y'all only let me send 2 text messages a month. Don't lie to me, Ryan.
Think that the movie's bad. That's fine. His reasoning for why is actually fucking stupid.
That white girl didn't need to be white. It could have been another black girl that went out there and did the same shit. They made her white. What's the point of making her white?
Because there were white women and white men back in the days who didn't have issues with being in black spaces and had a lot of interactions with them.
Man,
that's it.
It's to add another dimension, something that you lack, Stevie.
This is just to demonize white. What's the point of making her white?
Probably inclusion, but hey, man, watch how you say that white girl, because that white girl, she kind of bad. And then when she was a vampire, she was like, oh, well, you can steal from them, but you can't steal this pussy.
Yeah, bro.
What? I said, damn, bro, she was the shit.
You know what? I understand. Stevie's stupid because his friends.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It is kind of weird. Stevie Bobby's surrounded with some goofy ass people.
Well, man.
You that white girl, you better watch how you talk about her. That shit on this dick. And I'm like, but a big black bitch, no. But that white girl, she's kind of bad. You don't talk bad about my white girl. Shut your ass up, fucking goofy ass.
And vampires heal, bro. And when that part when he shot Buddy in the face and Buddy's face didn't heal, I'm like, bro, you're a vampire. You're not a fucking zombie. Like, vampires' faces heal. Tedious, but like I like vampires. You're gonna do vampires, you gotta do it right.
He said you gotta do it right. Again, it's one-dimensional because if you want to go tap in your nerd side,
there's multiple vampire movies.
15 archetypes of vampires.
Yeah.
Some are allergic to bullets, some are allergic to garlic, some are not, some fly, some don't, some morph. So depending on who are you calling, are you talking about Bram Stoker, or are you talking about the lady Rice? Who are you talking about?
True. Facts.
Which depiction of vampires throughout history and wherever in the world,
they've been different.
Got vampire stories. You can with the original stories from Transylvania, the original.
He not lying, gang. He not lying. Throughout all history of mankind, we've all had the same stories of creatures of the night. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, you know what I mean?
Stories of vampires in West Africa, the original vampire stories from what they have in Native American in this land. Which one?
Skinwalker.
There's like 15 of them. And then after that, you could pick and choose and change that.
Yeah.
So which you're like, yeah, I'm hardcore about vampires. You're one type of
one
vampire.
type, exactly.
You like one type, and that's the original, and that's it. But if you really,
it's not the original.
The vampires in Underworld.
Facts. In fact, I'm about to say the original one is what the story is supposed to be from Vlad the Impaler, pretty much, or at least Bram Stoker's vampire. Bro, I'm a big movie buff, bro. I love movies. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I love horror movies. I like psychological thrillers more. You know what I mean? I like a movie that has me thinking and questioning shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the plot. You know what I mean? Don't let me see the plot till the end of the movie. That's, you know what I mean? That's the type of movies I like. But even in a lot of those stories, right? So like back in the day, I forgot the girl name, but there was a ruler, I don't want to say in Transylvania, but like I want to say somewhere in Eastern Europe, right? Where pretty much, no, let me not say Eastern Europe, East or Western Europe, somewhere near that Hungary, you know what I mean? I haven't been to school in years. My geography is bad, you feel me? But I remember the story. It's about a woman who, she was a ruler, and she would go around and pretty much, she wanted to stay young forever. So she would actually go around and find all the beautiful virgin women in her kingdom, and she would have them killed and have their blood dumped into a bathtub, and she would bathe in it because it would make her younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, just crazy stories, bro.
There's different, the vampires in Interview with the Vampires.
You saw Dust Till Dawn?
Yeah.
They were very similar to those ones.
Yes, exactly.
They weren't super strong. They weren't super powerful. They were killing very easily. A lot of the vampires, they were grabbing them and chucking them. But like, vampires are often, werewolves are also not depicted the same way all the time.
They prefer the word liking. But anyways. Tapping in my nerd side.
You guys gotta see this comment section because they was ripping this dude apart. Wow. Yeah, I get it, Stevie. You hated the shootout because you hated seeing your masters die. Oh shit!
Yeah,
I didn't know it was
man.
gonna go in on like that. Hey,
Damn it, man.
I got the baby oil ready because we getting cooked. So
Hey, yo, put that away, man.
I genuinely feel bad for you, even though you aren't.
Did you know you can AFK Bloods and Zaya whilst learning to code in Python? Go to boot.
I didn't know that, brother, but I'm definitely gonna check that out. I want to learn how to code.
Smart enough to feel bad for yourself. That white baby mama in the car is definitely Stevie's handler.
Sinners was
ass.
I don't get it, bro. I mean, we get it. We get it. But,
It was made for
a reason.
The movie was made for
who?
What, man?
For who? For who?
The only thing black people
Who was
can
it
say
made
is the
for?
acting was good. The costumes were good. The set design was good. Shows zero intelligence. The story was garbage.
Okay, just watch this. He's reading the comment.
White, blame your ancestors. Oh, see, it's a whole. See, now my whole.
Okay. You see how you didn't keep reading that comment? Go back 2 seconds. I'm going to read the last part of that sentence. It says, blame your ancestors for your current shit you are in. Black people never learned. This just proves other races see you as inferior. Now you know why. You see
Jesus.
That comment?
Yeah. Jesus.
He skipped over that shit. Yeah. He was about to show that comment some love.
Hey, that's his supporters, though, bruh. That's his supporters. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that support him, bruv. Jesus.
But watch how he ignores the racist part of it.
Such a silly people. Black Africans sold other Africans to white. Blame your ancestors. Oh, see, it's a whole. See, now that was my whole point, bro. That my whole point.
Oh, yeah?
The whole point? Or
that
was your point?
That was your
point? You see how
point?
he ignored the racist part of it?
Yes.
See what I'm saying? This is the thing that
But he's
that
not a monolith with that comment.
Yes.
He's not a monolith with that comment. He appreciates it, but
yeah,
not really.
But listen, I don't think we should keep going. I think we've kind of, this with
we've been going for too long on that
dead horse. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Steven. But he talks a lot about how he used to be a lot more liberal and now he's a lot more conservative and he's woken up and he's seen the light. I think he just changed one box for another. I think he was ideologically captured before, and now he's ideologically captured now. And that's why he sees everything through a woke lens or a lens someone else. Like, he didn't even have the original thought that the movie was woke. He read someone else's interpretation, and then he made his review. Yeah. But you can't picture me with this cowboy hat, boy. $200, one of the worst investments I ever made. The movie Sinners.
Hey, man, no. My dogs is the truth, man. You hear me? Man, shout out abaandpreach for that one, gang. And shout out Abba because he cooked that boy. That little debate that they had, I might review that. It's like an hour long, but I might review that as well. You feel me? But yeah, man, listen, ain't nothing wrong with being conservative. There's nothing wrong with being liberal, right? I think the problem comes in whenever you're just so entrenched in your side that you don't see truth in anything, right? You feel me? Like a great quote, right, is about religion, right? You know how everybody's like, man, Jesus Christ is the way, man, Buddha is the way, man, Allah is the way, Muhammad is the way, Vishnu is the way, Zeus is the way, nigga, I don't know, Aphrodite is the way, you know what I mean? Like every culture, every group of people have whatever they, you know what I'm saying, they feel is the way. But one of the dopest quotes I ever heard, man, was just like every bodies of water on planet Earth, every religion has truth in it, right? So you can find truth in conservative values and you can find truth in liberal values, right? Me personally, I think I'm a little bit of both, bro. I'm conservative in certain things. I'm liberal in certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, oh, this is the one side I'm on and this is the only thing I believe. And if you don't believe what I believe, you're wrong. I think that's a very simple-minded way of going through life. You know what I mean? Thinking everything is cookie cutter. You know what I mean? There's nuances in life, you know? Hey, man, I ain't gonna make the video longer than it need to be, man. It's your boy Prince Rob, man. We'll catch y'all next video, gang.